Hello, everybody. Welcome to Between the Ropes. My name is Christy Wilson. I am your host. And of course, this show is presented to you by both Playback TV and Novik Sportsbook. What is going on this week? Well, we got a lot going on this week. And for Callan and Jen, the hosts of Puck Talk, I got my Vegas Golden Knights Ice Shaker Cup here for you guys. It's going to be great. So let's get to what is going on in the world of wrestling. There was a lot that went on. I'm going to get one piece of news that just came out because this sort of thing just happened yesterday. It happened at TNA Victory Road. Looked like it was going to be a great pay-per-view, but then we had a bit of a bummer happen. Ash by Elegance, formerly Dana Brooke in WWE, sadly vacated the TNA Knockouts Championship. Or the technical term, according to the tweet from TNA Wrestling's X account, was she forfeited it. Now, I don't know what's going on. This is causing a lot of rapid speculation. She didn't look happy, so I don't think she's pregnant. I don't think she's pregnant. I do think she is injured or something came up involving either her family or her husband's family that requires her immediate attention, and she needs to put her focus and energy onto whatever is going on before she decides whether or not she wants to come back to the ring or not. I feel bad for Ash because I don't think she was honestly taken seriously in WWE when she first signed with them. She was with that company for 10 years. They paired her up first with Tenelle Dashwood, then Emma in NXT, and then when she made it to the main roster, she got teamed up with Charlotte Flair. And then she joined Titus O'Neil's faction, but just nothing really seemed to click. Nothing seemed to stick. She goes back to NXT, disregarded again, and then signs with TNA, starts the Elegance brand, which is her faction, with George Iceman and two other female wrestlers. And that's when I think she really started to see success. Of course, she just last month became TNA Knockouts champion, finally taking that belt off of JC Jane and bringing that title back to TNA. Now she doesn't have it anymore. That resulted in a battle royal at Victory Road where former where two women, NXT North American Women's Champion, the first one ever, Kalani Jordan, went up against the former Xia Li. I don't know what her full ring name is at TNA. I forgot about it. I do apologize. They went at it in a Knockouts title match to determine who would face Indy Hartwell at Bound for Glory, which is October 12th in Lowell, Massachusetts. And Kalani Jordan again, or not again, I should not have said that, but Kalani Jordan became the TNA Knockouts champion, and she'll be the one facing Indy at Bound for Glory. This has caused a lot of whoa. Sorry about the camera falling. I'm trying to keep it straight. I don't know what it just started moving all of a sudden. I apologize. Do I like the idea of another NXT talent? Sorry, easy for me to say. Winning that Knockouts championship. We already had JC Jane win it. I hate the idea of Kalani Jordan being a transitional champion. I do like her. I think she's got great potential. But I really feel like this WWE TNA partnership, especially between NXT and TNA, is extremely lopsided. And I don't really think it's really benefiting anybody. Yeah, the TNA talent is getting opportunities and stuff, but I really don't think this is working very well. Now, if you're wondering why everything led up to Kalani winning that Knockouts title, if you know about this or you've been reading about it on social media, here we go. Ash was supposed to face Masha Slamovich for the opportunity to face Indy Hartwell at Bound for Glory. If you already know, a friend of wrestler Akira posted some text messages from Masha Slamovich to Akira. Those two were dating. These screenshots of these text messages seem to suggest a violent, toxic relationship between Akira and Masha Slamovich. It seems based on the text messages, the screenshots, I did read them. Masha was the aggressor, the abuser in this relationship. Since these have come out, Masha has been pulled from different events and gigs that she's booked, different matches. And I think TNA, and thanks to TNA making the decision to launch an investigation into this, Masha got pulled from this, and I guess whatever Ash by Elegance or Dana Brooke, whatever you want to call her, was going through, if it's an injury or a family issue, that's what led to Ash having to vacate that title, and now Kalani Jordan is holding it. So we'll see what happens. Bound for Glory, like I said, October 12th in Lowell, Massachusetts. So we'll see what happens on that front. All right, we're going to get to the topics that I have originally planned for this. That was just one thing that was still very fresh in my mind, and I wanted to get it out of the way. So I'm going to get to what I originally had planned for the show, and I'm going to go on that. We know WrestlePalooza. By the way, congratulations to the lady who's on my shirt, Stephanie Vaquer La Primera, new WWE Women's World Championship, beat Io Sky. Great match. WrestlePalooza, I know, was, sorry for the foul language on this one, was shit on by a lot of people, including ESPN, who didn't give it a favorable grade. They did not give it a favorable grade, but there was one thing that did come out of it, and it really caught my eye, was Stephanie McMahon. She is going to be inducted, is going to be heading the WWE Hall of Fame class at 2026. Yes. Undertaker made the announcement at WrestlePalooza. And, Stephanie was definitely incredibly, looked very honored to be told this news. I mean, did she know about it? I don't know if she knew about it ahead of time. But, the Billion Dollar Princess, as she used to be nicknamed way back when she first started appearing on WWE TV, she's awesome. She's now she was chief brand officer. She's been in different positions in the company. Now she's hosting What's Your Story, her podcast. She's doing other WWE related activities without having to actually be in the office or something. I don't know. But it's just cool that she's going to be in there. And it's kind of funny. It'll be happening a year after her husband, Triple H, was inducted into the Hall of Fame as a solo competitor. He's now a two-time WWE Hall of Famer. As we know, he was inducted in 2019 with Degeneration X, which was really cool. So there's all that going on. Speaking of 2026, the next topic, of course, is and I'm kind of going completely out of order. I'd never have these in a set order. AJ Styles announcing he will be retiring in 2026, which is I'm going to be honest. AJ, I was never the biggest fan of his. I always liked him. I always respected him. You know, whether it was a heel or as a face, I couldn't help but respect the guy for what he's accomplished in his career. I know for a fact, excuse me, when he retires in 2026, he's guaranteed to go into two halls of fame, TNA Hall of Fame, which is where the phenomenal one really, I think, really made a name for himself. Like, he really accomplished so much in that company. I mean, they should be eternally grateful to him either way. And of course, WWE Hall of Fame. I think he's a guaranteed lock to get in there. But he's a Grand Slam champion in that company. And no, I'm sad that AJ's going to retire, but I understand why. You can't keep going forever, even if you want to. But he has had an unbelievable career. He's been doing this for years. I mean, he made a name, like I said, he made a name for himself. TNA, WWE. He was part of the Bullet Club in New Japan Pro Wrestling, made an impact there. Should he get one more title run? Yeah. And if you're going to let him have at least one more world title run, do it better than John Cena. Regardless of whether AJ was a face or a heel, let him have at least one more. Excuse me. Let him have at least one more WWE World Title run before he rides off into the sunset. I think that would be something that would be really cool for him to, have. It would be really cool for him. So we'll see about that one. But I wish him the absolute best of luck. AJ Styles, thank you. Thank you, sir. Now, another thing that ended up coming up here, and I was honestly surprised to see this, a PWI 500. They had their 35th annual issue come out, and a top 10 was released. Now, the names here, this has kind of caused a lot of chatter if you want to put it that way. There's all kinds of chatter going on. I'm going to go through the whole list about majority of these. Some of these names I don't know very well. Well, some might obviously do. I watch them all the time. Number one, Cody Rhodes, John Moxley, Gunther, Hangman Adam Page, Hiroki Goto. I hope I got his name pronounced correctly. Main event, Jey Uso. Yeet. Swerve Strickland. Yes, sir. Seth freaking Rollins. Mystico, and the aerial assassin Will Ospreay. How many of these names do I agree with are on this list? I know some people out there, and some of them way more vocal than others, are saying Mox should be number one on this list. Do I think so? That's personally hard for me. I am a Mox fan, but lately with his the current storyline he's involved in, and the one he's been involved in for a really lengthy amount of time with the Death Riders, his faction in AEW, has gotten extremely stale. It's gotten boring. His matches, even though they're still really good, I feel as though him being leader of the Death Riders faction, I'm going to get into so much trouble for saying this. I don't really think has really done him any good. There's no doubt his heel run has been great. There's no question about it in my mind. I just feel like it has gone on way, way, way too long. And I mean, eventually Mox is going to end up being the target of the Roast a Wrestler segment at some point along the line. Like I said before, I don't know. It just depends on when is the right moment to do so. But one of his Death Rider buddies is the subject of Roast a Wrestler, and I'll get to him later. But there are those who think Mox should be up there. Cody being number one on this list, I get it. I absolutely get it. He has just been a workhorse. I know not everyone thinks his world title run from when he won at WrestleMania 40 until he lost it to Cena at 41 was great. But I enjoyed it because I saw a man who was willing to be a fighting champion. And maybe PWI probably saw the same thing when they decided to put this list together. I don't know what their criteria is for how they put it all together and everything. But clearly, I personally think Cody deserves to be number one on this list. I know not everybody's going to agree. I'm sure people out there are going to be screaming at me saying, oh, you're kissing up to Cody Rhodes. No, I respect the man enormously. I mean, I have so much respect and admiration for him. I do. So I need to stick with that's just what I'm saying here. Cody deserves to be number one. That's it. Nothing else. As for Gunther, no comment. No comment. Sorry, Gunther. Hangman Adam Page, I think if you had to switch, he's number 4 on this list, I would switch him and Gunther. I would definitely switch him and Gunther. I'd have Hangman Adam Page be number 3 on this list. Yeah, he did what many thought wasn't possible. He dethroned Mox at All In Texas. Finally got that beautiful AEW world title out of the stinking briefcase that it had been in for several months. And he rose it above his head with such pride. It was a beautiful moment. And he's continued to do really well as a champion. I know people are probably going to be like, you know what? You wanted the title off of Mox. Hangman is the one who did it. You should be getting down your knees and thanking God for Hangman Adam Page. Thank God for Hangman Adam Page. I mean, even I'm saying it. So, Hiroki Goto, I don't watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, so I don't really know anything about him, so no comment on him. Main event Jey Uso, I think very highly of him. But him being number 6, I mean, yeah, it kind of feels high. I would do another swap here. Him and Swerve Strickland, I would flip the spots, make Swerve number 6, and I know people are going to be like, oh, no! But I kind of feel that way because Swerve has definitely been an unbelievable workhorse in AEW. I mean, the man's been doing his thing. He's still over. He's still very popular. So, and yeah, should he have been the one to beat Mox for the title? Yeah, I mean, I think so. I don't think Swerve should have lost it in the first place at All In 2024, but that's neither here nor there. That has no relevance at all. But that's just how it is. Seth Rollins, kind of iffy on this one, but who knows? Well, I don't have any issue with him being a Mystico. I'm not super familiar with him. Osprey, I'm gonna get murdered. I'm gonna get killed for this one. I would switch him with Rollins. So I put Osprey at number 8 on this list if I had to do it my way. Osprey, yeah, and I wish Will Osprey the best. He had neck surgery. Will, aerial assassin, yes, get well soon, good sir. But I mean, Osprey, unbelievable workhorse for AEW along with Swerve. And I know everyone. I mean, and I'm not this. And back to, and of course, when it comes to Mox, yeah, he is the ace of AEW. He is the workhorse. But Swerve and Osprey put in the work, put in the effort. So I would probably rank Osprey a little higher on this list. But if you have your own opinions on where you would put any of these wrestlers, let me know in the chat. Debate amongst yourselves. That would be definitely something. I highly recommend that. But now let me get to, I'm going to give a shout out to Playback. Watching sports is fun, but it's not fun to watch it alone. You go check out the Playback app, set up an account. It's 100% free. Check out great communities out there where you watch sports, whether it's WNBA, NBA, or you can check out ETB where we had Ryder Cup footage. Hey, shout out to Ben Cruz and the guys doing their Ryder Cup watch party and all that. Hey, you can also check out shows. Got great shows. I'm here between the ropes. You can check out, of course, Puck Talk. Got my Golden Knights Cup there. You can check out Callum McClure, Jen Kate, talking hockey. They have guests. It's fun. Got other shows: Football Forecast, Gridiron Gurus, Hitting for the Cycle, Forever Power 5. I got another one for you, Press Row. You can check out Callum McClurg and ETB's fearless leader, Nick Morganson, on that show. So check that out. And if you are a sports betting person, try Novik Sportsbook. Use the code ETB Network. You can get cool stuff through that. So shout out to Playback. Shout out to Novik Sportsbook. So back to the show. I got another big topic. Now, this really created a buzz and even created some excitement among the women on All Elite Wrestling's roster. The AEW's women's tag team titles were unveiled Wednesday night on Dynamite. Of course, Tony Khan announced it. Renee Paquette pulled the cloth off and revealed the gorgeous championship belts. And it has caused a lot of hype. A lot of the women wondering, who should I team up with? You had certain people, like I know of, you got the Triangle of Madness, Tekla, Julia Hart, Sky Blue. Any one of those three could be a tag team and win gold. Up to them. It's like, who does Tekla click with? Who does Julia click with? Who does Sky click with in that faction? We know they can work together. So there's that. Then you have, a tag team that's actually been doing their thing for a long time. Now this may be their opportunity, and I actually have them. If a tournament is announced, they are my favorite. So when it is Ty Mello and Anna Jay, known as Tay J, they always do this. But it's been but they have done really great matches. The best match I know for a fact that they did, and I watched it, was a street fight between Penelope Ford. I'll mention her she's going to get mentioned in this as well. And the Allie, the bunny, which was a great street fight. It was nuts, crazy, everything. Anna putting the barbed wire around her arm and choking out the bunny in her Queen Slayer submission move was freaking cool. Now, I mentioned Penelope Ford. Well, she can team up with the Megasis, the All Elite Goddess Megan Bayne. Those two have been causing some chaos, so I think they can definitely win it. The Renegade Twins are have been in Ring of Honor as well. They can team up and go for this as well. Any other women out there? I know Mercedes Moné was asking about a tag team partner. I mean, that would be great. I did recommend 3-time AEW Women's Champion Hikaru Shida. Now, I don't know if Shida's been medically cleared yet, or if she has any bookings anywhere else. Like, I don't know if she's been in Japan doing some wrestling or whatnot. We'll see. Another tag team definitely came to my mind. Definitely, it consists of the new AEW Women's World Champion Chris Statlander and Harley Cameron. I think that would be fun to see those two, see how well they do as a tag team. That would be great. And we have others like Deonna Purrazzo, the Virtuosa, and Taya Valkyrie. They could team up. Another one, I could go on and on and on about this. I'm going to get one more tag team it's in my mind out of the way, and then I'm gonna go to another topic. At least another get to another topic from last night's SmackDown. Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor. These two competed. I think they've competed together and against each other on the British independent wrestling scene. So those two, yes, that would be fantastic. Now I'm going to get that out of the way. Now I'm going to get to last night's SmackDown. This was, I don't have the photo, so bear with me. I'm going to not give you the most graphic visual description of what I'm about to talk to you folks about. There was the triple threat match between Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax, and Jade Cargill on SmackDown last night. That was the main event. Side note, I kind of think WWE saw the successful title defense between Chris Statlander and Mina Shirakawa on Dynamite on Wednesday and decided they were going to do the same thing. That's just my opinion, no one else's. But apparently during this match, and this was a sloppy, botch-filled match, something clearly happened to Jade. There's a suspicion that the woman I roasted a couple of weeks ago, Nia Jax, I think that was last week I roasted Nia Jax. Nia might have had something to do with this. So she threw Jade into the stairs. Jade posted a picture. The cut above, I think it's like near her eyebrow, either on her eyebrow or above it, is the nastiest looking thing I have ever seen. Now, believe me, I've watched boxing, MMA. I've seen nasty ass cuts like this. I mean, the Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano fight that was before Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. This was last November on Netflix. I can't remember which one of those two women had the nastiest, like, the thing was just like splitting open. I'm like, oh my God, if it splits up any further, she's going to have another eye up above her head. It was that nasty looking. And based on what Jade posted on her Instagram, holy crap. This thing, was nasty. I'm not going to get visually descriptive. Nia Jax, if you hurt Jade Cargill and you caused that, you better be grateful I'm not giving you the finger on this camera right now, woman, because you're asking to get put in the Roast a Wrestler segment for the second time, and I don't think I have the energy to basically obliterate you for the second time on this show. I don't want to have to resort to that. I don't want to have to roast a wrestler twice. But if I have to, I have to. But enough of that. Okay. I'm going to get to roast a wrestler. Here we go. Now, when I hosted a different podcast, my co-host and I sang the praises of this gentleman. We did. And I personally, based on what I would watch on, whether it was Dynamite, Collision, whatever show he was on, it felt like he had a lot of talent. 3 years ago, there was a storyline going on. Should the subject of this week's Roast a Wrestler join a faction where he might benefit more from it than the faction he was in at that moment? If you're wondering who I'm talking about, and if you remember this particular storyline very well, then you know who I'm talking about. Let me get a sip in here. Okay. I'm going to tell you. Daniel Garcia, you are undeniably talented. You've got a lot of intangibles. You have great potential to be, you are a former, Jesus. You, sir, have really accomplished good things in your career. You are a former TNT champion. Do I wish your title reign was booked better? Yes. Should you have had a longer reign? Yes. You basically, what happened 3 years ago was Garcia was offered the opportunity to join the faction called the Blackpool Combat Club that later evolved into the heinous faction we know as the Death Riders. Garcia had an opportunity to do that. Instead, he made the decision to stay in the faction he was with, led by Chris Jericho, called the Jericho Appreciation Society. I could come up with every derogatory name for that faction, but I will not. I will kind of not bother to go there, but, who the heck knows? But apparently, Garcia's gone through, since leaving the Jericho Appreciation Society, He's gone. He re-signed with AEW, became TNT champion, did well. I At some point along the line, he started getting frustrated, and the Death Riders decided to see if they could pounce on the opportunity to try to recruit this very talented rising star in pro wrestling. And I think a week or two ago on Dynamite, he attacked Darby Allin and decided to line himself with the Death Riders. I do not like this. This feels like it's 3 years too late. The Death Riders as a faction needs to die. I'm sorry. You don't have championship gold. All the Death Riders are doing is just simply causing chaos. I mean, hell, Mox basically terms poke the bear to get Hangman to give him a rematch shortly after All In, and that didn't work out. So Garcia, your decision to join the Death Riders, I think, is 3 years too late. If you had joined the Blackpool Combat Club, I think things would have been a little bit better, but you made an unfortunate decision. And believe me, seeing you as part of Death Riders, it doesn't feel right. It does not feel right at all to me. That's my opinion on it. You're basically under Mox's tutelage. I'm sorry, you're getting you. Here's the funny thing. Ever since you joined the Death Riders, Danny Garcia, I don't even notice you anymore. You've basically been lost. To me, you've become non-existent. I don't see you. I don't notice you. You don't stand out with the Death Riders. You don't. I'm starting to think maybe you need to step back, get away, and try and figure yourself out. Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't honestly think you fit in with the Death Riders. I really don't. I really do not. And I don't know where this is leading to. But at some point, the Death Riders are going to die, and you, Daniel Garcia, are going to have to figure out a way to get yourself back on track because I feel like you've just gone off the rails. You have completely gone off the rails. And Jon Moxley, you, sir, are literally asking to be put in the Roast a Wrestler segment. I've already got next week's victim already planned. Sir, you're pushing your luck. If you try anything next week, I will switch the Roast a Wrestler segment out. I'll take out who I already have planned, and I'm going to put you in there. And believe me, Moxley, baby, I'm going to friggin' annihilate you. I will. There is no question I will annihilate you. But that depends on what happens next week. And by the way, Chris Statlander, if you join the Death Riders, bitch, you're going to be in the Roast a Wrestler segment. So I would highly suggest, if any of you are watching, you better heed these warnings very carefully because guess what? I'm not going to hold back at all. So don't try anything funny. But, oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. That's really, I'm telling you. This week's been nuts. It has been crazy. And it's about to get even crazier, especially Crown Jewel coming up in a couple of weeks. We already got the champion versus champion ones with Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins and then Stephanie Vaquer versus Tiffany Stratton. So those are going to be interesting. I might touch on those a little bit. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. There's so much going on, and I will definitely keep track of everything that is going on. So I want to thank everyone for watching this episode of Between the Ropes, presented to you by Playback and Novik Sportsbook. Thank everyone everyone out there who's been watching, like Cal, Jen, my behind the scenes dude, Nico. Hey. So check out everything. Check me out. Of course, on all social media accounts for the show, like on X at BTRETB. You know the drill. Instagram, TikTok, check it all out. Definitely get more content up. Try to stay more up to speed on everything. Post more videos. Get more things up there. So, whoo! I tell you, this has been crazy. And like I said before, it's going to get even crazier. Again, congratulations to La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer, the new WWE Women's World Champion. You are the best, Stephanie. Thank you. And I will see you folks next week with a new episode of Between the Ropes. Bye-bye.